Sorry?
And was it worth it?
Oh, it's a memory. It's a lifetime memory. Fantastic.
I wonder if we went to the same place.
Okay, so that was a failure.
Finding a parking space wasn't all that difficult.
Of course I'm taking a bike. How cool do I look?
There were so many people leaving when I arrived.
Let's do this.
It took me just a couple of minutes to ride to the start of the trail, and that's where I started to think maybe I made a huge mistake. Let's throw up a map in the corner so we can track our progress. First, there is a steep hill and large rocks for about 0.8 miles or 1.3 kilometers.
I thought this was going to be so easy. 5 minutes in.
The rocks made it really hard to ride a bike, and obviously bothered the hikers somewhat, who seemed to be walking along the sides of the roads where possible. But it made riding a bike really hard. It was absolute heaven to finally get to a dirt road, and I figured it must be smooth sailing from here. Well, that only lasted for about 300 meters, or 1,000 feet as you Americans might say for some reason. Then there was the same awful rocky road again for about 0.6 miles or 1 kilometer. And just to give you an idea of what that rocky road looks like, then here's a real-time shot I took on the way back. After that, the rest of the way was pretty much just dirt. All 2.4 miles of it, or 4 kilometers. And I don't just mean the road, it's all dirt.
This is so f***ing difficult. You wouldn't believe it.
Dirt, dirt, and more dirt. You can't really see it on the time-lapse, but there were strong headwinds, and the occasional mini twister throwing dirt into the air.
Going back is going to be so much easier. This is hell.
Then there is a surprising amount of traffic, all doing important rescue and science work, I'm sure. So I'm going to be tasting dirt for a week. I'm not going to say the rest of the trip was easy. It was mostly an incline, and my beautiful butt was really starting to get sore. I should not have made my first bike ride in 2 years be a 12-mile ride up and down a mountain. My legs were starting to feel like rubber, and I really wasn't sure if I could go on. So I had to push through. I wasn't gonna come all this way just to turn back before seeing that damn thing.
Can you see it now? Far away though.
I didn't realize that this was almost as close as you're going to get. It was just a few hundred more yards before I reached the viewpoint where you couldn't go any further. One of my goals for this trip was to get the killer drone shots you will see on social media. My dream was to catch the creator collapsing or something epic that would go absolutely viral. Good job the drone did that. Because for long it started to complain about strong headwinds. Then that it had reached the max power, and finally, as I approached the volcano against the strong headwinds, it started complaining about signal interference. And at this point, I no longer had control over the drone. Then I started to hear this bleeping noise around me.
Go home.
It was the police detecting poisonous gases in the area and started pushing everyone back. I had no choice but to leave the drone to defend for itself and trust that it would return back home on its own. I wonder if that guy was trying to feel earthquakes. And I'm not gonna lie, I was kinda nervous, but fortunately, it did come back eventually.
So yeah, this is not going great. Just gonna go up there, see the view.
But first I'm gonna go up there to plant the camera to get the great shots. I really was miserable. I did my best to capture some shots of the volcano from a distance on my 105mm camera, but soon my attention just went to the other tourists who didn't seem to be enjoying themselves any more than I was, and they were pretty much always in my way anyways. It's hard to admire the view when
Things dirt.
I must have eaten about a liter of it while I was there. And for you American viewers,
This place sucks.
that's too much dirt.
How hard was it?
I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe around 5. Like easy going this time. The last years was very difficult because you're going up the hill in an incline and lots of rocks. But now it's a very well made out path, so I think anybody can do it.
Why don't you ask me now?
Okay, yeah.
I'm only 20 years older than he is, and I'm not particularly fit. So I would say for me 7.5, 8 out of 10 difficulty. The surface is not so good. They're needing to pack that stuff down. It's not great. It's more of an effort than people think it is. But then, if you don't know, you would never do it. That's the thing.
And was it worth it?
Oh, it's a memory. It's a lifetime memory. Fantastic. No, I'd recommend it to anybody. But older people would probably need to be careful. You do need a certain level of fitness, which I've not got. That's my fault, not its fault.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, beautiful. A pity we couldn't get close to it because it was like we're 2 kilometers short of the actual volcano itself because of the obviously safety reasons. But apart from that, it was pretty good.
I was gonna ask a lot more people, but I really need to get home. But yeah, this was really difficult. Maybe it's just because I was on a bike for the first time in like 2 years or something. That wasn't a good idea, sort of in hindsight. Although I did do this in a very short time. I think I was like 1 hour there and a little bit quicker on the way back. Do I recommend it?
Oh my God, what an experience. It was fantastic.